Taurus, welcome to my channel. This is Venus Baby Tarot, and today I'm going to give you your message for Mercury retrograde so we can see what you are going to revisit and what your overall advice is for Mercury retrograde, which will be happening until August 28th. Right now it is in Virgo and it will be retrograding back into Leo. So I totally recommend going and looking at your natal chart to see what house you have Virgo and Leo to get a better idea of what area of life you are going to be revisiting and reviewing, because that's what we do during Mercury retrograde, because Mercury rules our thoughts and our speech. And so I do feel like you will be revisiting things either in your mind, in your dreams, or in your physical environment, where you are going to be, seeing people from the past, or, exes can return and that kind of thing as well. But sometimes you're just going to run into people that you haven't seen in like 20 years, like I did the other day. But anyway, so let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for you for Mercury retrograde. Also, before we get started, if you are looking for a personal reading with me, you can book on my scheduler in the description box below. And I do hope that you like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Also, we have a lot of cicadas singing in the background and this cricket outside of my window that has been singing and competing for airtime. So I looked it up actually, and the cricket spiritual symbolism is, let's see, it says cricket meaning directs you to stay open to guidance and messages so that you will know what you have to do. You may be guided to buy a lottery ticket, interview for a new job, or be in the right place at the right time. It can also represent like a good fortune in your life and taking a leap of faith. So we're going to see how that unfolds in your reading, Taurus. All right. So you already have two out. Hiding your true self. What's going on, Taurus? What's going on? Biding your time and planning ahead. It's really crazy to me because I have been saying biding my time like more frequently recently, because I'm like waiting on something to happen in my life or something to unfold, and it's going to be like a few weeks down the road, and I keep saying I'm just biding my time. So I don't know, honestly, Taurus, you could be biding your time as well. But we may get a couple more of those. Now, hiding your true self. That's interesting to me because I do feel like that is something that you are revisiting, is the ways in which you have hidden your true self, how you have not been in alignment with your true self, and your authenticity, and doing what is most authentic and feels right to you. Okay, so you have the Axe, forces working against you. And the Butterfly, a change for the better. I'm feeling like the force working against you is yourself, though. Time to go out and have fun. And spiritual guidance, protection from harm. The Tower card was trying to come out here, and it does say success, solid foundation, success with effort, and then underneath that is success. So actually we're gonna take both of them. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, Taurus, let's go ahead and get your tarot cards out on the table. So let's give these a little quick shuffle. I do pre-shuffle all the cards, but gonna just give you a little extra shuffle just to get the energy moving. Alrighty. Oh wow, the Phoenix. The Eight of Pentacles. And the Strength card. Gorgeous. You have the Five of Wands. Oh, my cat's trying to get in my room. You have the Tower. You have the Ace of Swords. The Celestial Weaver. I may get one more card on that. The Star. Ooh, okay, I'm getting, yeah. 9 of Pentacles. And one more column for your advice. You have the Queen of Cups. You have the 3 of Swords. Interesting, we may get another card on that. And the 4 of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which keeps coming out for Taurus. I mean, the Queen of Wands just keeps coming out, okay? The Chariot card as well. I'm definitely seeing how those two kind of piggyback off of each other a little bit. So, Taurus, this is going to be your energy over the Mercury retrograde period. This is going to be what is coming in for you during Mercury retrograde. This is, oh no, I forgot what that was. This one's your advice column. This is what's in your environment during Mercury retrograde. Let me grab a clarifier deck really fast. Okay, sorry about that. All right, Taurus. So your energy during Mercury retrograde is the Phoenix. I mean, come on, that's amazing. The Phoenix. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. Because that basically means for you, Taurus, that like whatever is being thrown in your way, like it doesn't even matter because you're going to come up out of it anyway. Like this is going to be your rising from the ashes period in your life. With the Queen of Wands and the Chariot card, that's really developing a strong sense of self-confidence. But not only that, it's like, confidence is like knowing that you could fail and doing it anyway. Basically knowing that even if you do fail, you're going to come up from that and you're going to rise above and you're going to find another way. Like that's really being in your strongest sense of self-confidence. And because like not everything in life is going to be perfect. And I do see that. Like you do see some challenges, but that's typical Mercury retrograde kind of stuff. Like I just, it really is. Like there's going to be some challenges during this time. Can be around communication or just general upsets that happen in your life, okay? With the Ace of Swords, it could be around communication. But anyway, with the 8 of Pentacles, you're going to be working really hard. You're going to be developing your skills. You're going to be learning whatever you need to learn. You're going to be putting your effort into yourself, your time, your energy into the things that you're trying to build for yourself, the things that matter, okay? And then the Strength card, I feel like the Strength card has to do with these forces working against you, which is you hiding your true self. The Strength card can also be about confidence as well. And so if you have been like feeling called in a certain direction in your life, but you have second guessed whether or not you can do that, I get the sense that, or like, honestly, I feel like it's not even like second guessing whether or not you can do that. I feel like it's really like worrying, maybe a little bit of worry about if you do this, like what are people going to think? Like you're showing off the true you and you're showing off like, it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like, say you've had everybody around you has been telling you your whole life, like you need to work like a 9 to 5, okay? And you're hiding your true self could be, really at the core of your being. You're an artist and And that is your true self. And you've been, you've been aligning with what you felt like you needed to, because honestly, conditioning and indoctrination and all of that jazz. But then you hid that part of yourself. Like you hid the part that just truly makes you so special, right? That's that type of energy. That may not be your specific situation, but you hid that part of yourself, and that's what works against you, because of the fact that whenever you truly align with something, you truly give your all to something, you actually can be quite successful. Sometimes I think that people don't, it's the fact that it takes time. Like it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of effort to really align with something that's, truly in alignment with your most authentic self. It could take time to get to where you want to go, and oftentimes people will just settle. And maybe that's what's happened. You found yourself settling far too much in your life for what was easy, for what was comfortable. But I'm also getting a lot of you keep yourself small. Yeah, a lot of you keep yourself small. So, okay, that's the other thing that I'm seeing for you. Is that in your life, in an area of your life, this could do with school, this could have to do with work, but you actually could be very talented, very skilled in a certain area of your life, and you don't let everybody know that. Maybe just because you're not you're generally not very look at me, look at me, look at me. You're more kind of, you do the work behind the scenes, and you don't always get the recognition for how skilled and talented and gifted you are. And because of that, you play small, and you just don't let everybody see how good you are, or you don't let everybody see your magic. Okay, but what I feel like is that you're realizing that the force is working against you, is you working against yourself in that way. Like you could be so much more successful at whatever you want to achieve in life if you actually allowed yourself to be seen more. If you actually put your face out there more, if you put your ideas out there more, if you spoke up more, or if you just pursued what actually feels right to you in your heart. Like listening to the song in your heart. And I think that's why this cricket's been here for 2 days, and I've been really sitting with it. Why is this cricket outside my window? And I think it's because, and it's not like I'm bothered by it or anything. That's not the thing. It really is because I'm seeking to understand the purpose of it, and because I've actually recorded 2 readings for you. One of them I haven't posted yet, but in that reading, the cricket was singing the whole time. And so I don't think it's just for me. I think it's for you too. But for me, the cricket is singing the song of its heart, right? And it's singing its song. I'm sure there are people that get annoyed by the sound of a cricket. Not me so much, but I feel like that cricket's gonna sing the song of its heart regardless of how anybody else feels about it, and so that's this energy for you, Taurus. It really is. That's this energy, not shedding, having 0 F's, okay, whatsoever, for how people perceive you or how people receive you in terms of you being in total alignment with yourself. And what does that mean, to be totally in alignment with yourself? It means whenever, and I talk about this all the time, the 4 agreements. I read that book 16 years ago, and I think it's amazing. But it really opened my eyes to how so many of our belief systems about ourselves, about how we're supposed to live, what kind of jobs we're supposed to have, just everything. What kind of cars we drive, what kind of house we have, all of these are adopted belief systems. They're not actually from the self. Okay. They're not actually authentic because they don't come from us. They come from, society. They come from influences, right? And so when you're in your most authentic self, you're not doing what you're influenced to do. You are doing what like comes from you, okay? And I understand that there's not like there's never really an original thought. Like there is some sort of influence at some point in time in our life, but like this is about resonance for you. And I feel like that's why with that like cricket reading that I read for you, like listening to or paying attention to the signs around you, like they're going to be obvious, okay? These obvious signs are going to strike a sense of resonance within you, and that resonance is going to help you align more with this authentic version of yourself, okay? And what I'm getting that with the forces working against you is that you'll get these signs from the universe, you get these nudges, and what happens is you have that resistance within you. And that resistance tells you, no, I don't know if I can do that, but I have to do this instead. And maybe it's not a good idea. And I don't know if I'd actually be good at that. And there's all these, like, there's just these second thoughts, like these second waves of like resistance. And that blocks you from this authenticity and this, aligning with your true self, and it blocks you from the resonance, like doing things that resonate with you and the song of your heart, okay? And I think that that's what you're revisiting during this Mercury retrograde, as you're really paying attention to the resistance in you. And why is this resistance there? Where is this resistance rooted? How is this resistance standing in the way of you actually stepping into this Phoenix and this Queen of Wands energy and being confident in yourself, in your pursuit of whatever you're trying to pursue, okay? And now with the Eight of Pentacles, it can be a new skill even, or just honing in on your craft, okay? Or allowing yourself to be recognized and seen for what you do best, because like I said, I get this energy of playing small, but with this Phoenix energy, there is no playing small. Like that is, here I am. Here I am, and you take it or leave it, right? And that Tower card with the solid foundation, success with effort, for me, that's kind of like exploding on the scene, okay? And just allowing yourself to really be seen for all the glory that you are. And I understand like that's challenging because of the second wave of resistance that comes after you have these inspiring thoughts or these notions, right? That's why I feel like the time to go out and have fun is there, because I think that sometimes you just need to get out of yourself. Like you need to go do something that's going to get you out of your mind, because your mind, I feel like, is where the root of this resistance is. And it is just, it keeps you from being able to be the Phoenix. It keeps you from being able to rise above the ashes. And I feel like you're in this era with this Phoenix. I've been seeing this for you all year long, Taurus. Like the number of times Phoenix has come out in your readings, it has been astronomical. I mean, truly. So what is coming in for you is the Five of Wands, the Tower, and the Ace of Swords. The Five of Wands is the resistance. Viva la resistance. And that's what that is for me. And with the Tower card, it's that sudden revelation, that explosion, like that sudden shift and change in your life. And it's followed by a sense of clarity with that Ace of Swords. It is also a card of disruption, disrupting your flow. And honestly, I feel like the disruption of the flow for you is in more like the disruption of autopilot. Like you're on autopilot, you're just doing the same old monotonous thing day to day, and it's just getting boring. It's just sucking your soul dry. Like, that you need something new. Like that's what I'm getting. Like this whole reading for me is just this realization that you need something new to focus your energy on, something exciting, something that just feels good, right? And I think that whatever this thing is for you seems to be more in alignment with the truest self that you've always wanted to step into, but you haven't because of the resistance. And I feel like now you seem to be eradicating this resistance. And for a lot of you, I think it's actually going to be suddenly. Like there's this sudden revelation with that Ace of Swords and the Tower card of how this resistance has held you back. We're going to get a couple more cards, though, on that Tower. The Tower, please. Tell me about the Tower. The Tower of Power. Seven of Pentacles did come out sideways, so I'm going to kind of honor that. Keep it, see, in the Judgment card. That's the resistance. Taurus, Taurus, choices, 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 decisions, decisions. So this is how it was, right? At the end of the day, Taurus, I can sit here as a tarot reader. And for me, I consider myself more of a spiritual coach because I literally, like, that's what I do with my clients. And I have long-term clients too, where like I help people step into this confidence. You know, I help them deconstruct the resistance, okay? The barriers, the blockages. And, and so what I feel for you, Taurus, is that I can sit here and tell you like what you can do, but at the end of the day, you have free will and you can maintain the resistance and you can stay stuck in the same like monotony. You can stay stuck in really hiding your true self, okay? And then I feel like even like looking outward at other people, you know, that we tend to do that, and I'm guilty of it too. I do try to catch myself on it now that I've realized, like, when I'm unhappy with myself, I judge others. And really that's just a projection of how I feel about myself, okay? And it's because of the fact that I feel a sense of guilt or shame or regret or remorse for the fact that I am not doing the thing that I really want to do. Instead, I look outward, and so I look outward instead of looking at that. Because looking at that requires more work and more effort. And I myself have done a lot of work to overcome that type of pattern. And I see it all the time with other individuals. And I've learned to understand that when I hear people doing that, I hear people like projecting or judging other people. It's really just because they're insecure and they don't want to look at, like, it's too hard. It's too hard to look at the fact that they're not doing something in their life that they really want to do. Okay. Now that could be your energy, to be honest with you, because of the fact that you have the Seven of Pentacles and it came out sideways. So for me, that is, you know, Seven of Pentacles for me is always about investment. How do you invest your energy? Are you going to invest it wisely? Or are you going to invest it in something that you know, maybe at one point felt like it was the right thing to do, or something that you feel like you have to do or whatever, and dream about something else, you know? And yeah. And so I feel like you have the self-will to seek a higher perspective, to look at the big picture, to make the right choices for yourself. Or you can block that and you can be, you know, the creator of the forces working against you via your own resistance, your own internal resistance. That's your choice to make with the Lovers. You know, that's your self-will at the end of the day. And for some of you, though, if I want to say like something specific, which tends to happen during Mercury retrograde, like if somebody tries to return from the past, I will say that there could be you could literally block that energy. But that's a whole other side message. You guys know I really like to look more at what's going on with you, Taurus, and I do like to feed certain narratives. That's not typically my flow, but anyway, either way, regardless of whatever choice you seem to make in your life during Mercury retrograde, the Ace of Swords is going to bring you a sense of clarity. But it was interesting because when that card came out, it kind of actually came out sideways too. So for me, I'm getting the sense that some of you are going to receive this message. You're going to hear this and you're going to have that clarity. I need something new. I need, or you need something new. You've got to try something different. You've got to step outside of the comfort zone that you have. You have to stop playing small. You need to reveal more of yourself to others around you, but like in whatever area of your life, you need to allow yourself to be seen more. Others of you, I feel, are going to struggle with that and instead feed into the resistance, okay? And stay stuck in an old familiar pattern because it's challenging, guys. It's just challenging, and you do have this success with effort. So I do feel like for those of you who are ready to embrace this change in your life, and this is what you were revisiting during Mercury retrograde, like you are going to have a realization. And, I feel like everybody here is going to have a realization, but not everybody here is going to start taking the actions to get out of this cycle. And that's okay. Like at the end of the day, we are all where we are at. Like, I think that everybody's right on time. I think that everybody has to go through their process, and not everybody is ready to make changes. Not everybody is ready to spread their wings. And I don't judge you, because I've been there. I stayed stuck for a really long time because I was so much in my own mental internal resistance that I did not see my capacity to do something different. And so if you are in that energy, it's okay. It's valid. And I totally get it. This is just your, I guess, inspirational message. And you can take it or leave it, right? So there's that. But regardless, everybody here is going to get some sort of clarity, but not everybody here is going to be receptive to it. And that's okay. Those of you who are receptive to it, though, I do feel like the celestial weaver is like, it's weaving your own existence, basically. Like it's even changing the very fabric of your existence, for some of you. And I just looked at the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And so some of you are going to be very inspired to make some pretty big changes in your life. I would encourage you to wait till Mercury retrograde is over to really start making these changes. During Mercury retrograde, you are revisiting it, okay? Like you are reviewing things, you're writing things down, you're pivoting, you're planning ahead, you're deciding your action steps. It's when Mercury retrograde ends that you really start to act, okay? I would say September is when you're going to start feeling more of this fire in you to explode on the scene like we were talking about, or to just be to be very motivated and driven to do things in your life. But right now you're going to be reviewing it. And so anyway, I feel like planning ahead, the clarity that you have, this can be like, for some of you, getting an actual planner and like really, lining up your action steps or things that you want to do, making goals for yourself or lists for yourself and setting goals for yourself, making lists and setting goals. You know what I'm trying to say. And it can also be like, making a 5-year plan, right? 1-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, vision boards, okay? Things like that. Getting a law of attraction planner. I did that for a couple of years, like consistently did the law of attraction planner. It's a lot of work to put into, but I think that that's something that's really good to do during Mercury retrograde, because that's what you're doing. You're revisiting and reviewing and revising, right? And so that's what, I did, is that I did a lot of like writing type things. And so that could be a message for some of you guys, because right now you're just kind of biding your time. Like this is not a time for like big movement. This is a time more for like revelations, okay? Like the revolution in you is beginning. It's the beginning stages, okay? It's kind of like you're I don't know why I'm getting like you're gathering your forces. How do I put this? Because you're not like going to war or anything. Like you don't need an army. I don't feel like it's like that. You're not going to battle. it's just more like you're gathering your resources and you're gathering your forces in order to, you know, drive towards success or achieve something in your life. Yeah, like right now you're gathering your motivation. I'm like, girl, okay, how do I put this? That's okay. But anyway, because like I feel like the action is secondary in this situation. Right now, there are just a lot of revelations stirring up in you, a lot of internal changes that will be stirring up in you. And then you're going to have that gusto and that fervor. That's going to be secondary, okay? Which I understand that motivation actually comes after action. So this may not be a time that you're getting motivated per se, but I do feel like it is a time where you're having the revelations and the realizations, and you're reviewing things and so on and so forth. We already said all that. So, environmentally speaking, you also have the star card. So for me, that is your wishes, your dreams, your hopes, things also aligning for you. This is these two cards, the celestial alignment. The universe is aligning, okay? Sorry, I got a call. Anyway, so the universe is aligning for you to make this happen. And if you'll notice in this Nine of Pentacles, this person actually looks like she's being called by something. Like the butterflies are kind of leading her somewhere. And we started off this reading with that message that I got regarding the cricket, the spiritual meaning. And so, I mean, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, you are going to feel this calling, okay, in this direction. It is a new path for you, because it is a change for the better. The butterfly. So butterflies could actually be very significant for you at this time as well. It's really interesting that the face painting right there. So some of you, like, if you wanted to do face painting, that could actually be something you're moving into, or just painting in general. But that was just an interesting side message. But either way, with the butterflies or whatever guidance you're receiving, whatever signs and synchronicities you're receiving during Mercury retrograde, they are from your angels, your spirit guides, etc., etc. Okay. Now, I feel like the protection from harm and the forces working against you, I mean, there can be, with the Five of Wands, there can be like actual resistance from other people in your life. But since that didn't show up in your environment, I am seeing that more to do with you, to be honest with you. But the protection from harm could be like the universe is trying to protect you from yourself, like you kind of leading yourself down the wrong path in life because you feel like it's supposed to be that way for whatever reason, okay? And maybe that's going to be an important message for you too, is to get to the root of it. Why do I believe that I need to do a certain thing in my life? Like, where does this even freaking come from? You know? I'm like, what's an example that I can give you? Okay, I'll just tell you a little about myself, I guess. So, because of the fact that I am not 20 anymore, sometimes I do struggle with the like getting on camera, and I used to do a lot of content over on like Instagram, and I've gotten older, right? And I just feel like, well, I'm not in my 20s anymore, so maybe I shouldn't show my face, like, and I think that's a resistance that I have within myself, because like who told me, or where did it come from that I thought that I had to be like in my 20s and fresh faced to be on camera? Like what is wrong with being like in your late 30s, early 40s? I'm not telling you exactly how old I am, but like what's wrong with being in that age range? Literally nothing. Like literally nothing. But I feel like somewhere along the way I thought I got it in my head that's what I'm supposed to be. Like that's what's, the best, I guess. And that's a resistance that I have. So, I mean, that's a little bit about myself, I guess. And so, if you're starting over in life, if you're starting fresh, say you decide to go back to school, and you're starting over, like, the resistance in you could be thinking, I'm not a traditional student, so I mean, what am I even doing here? But I feel like, maybe you just weren't in alignment with your most authentic version of yourself, or maybe it just wasn't time. Like, the universe just did not align for you, for that to work out for you when you were younger. Okay. Or what if you decided to just have a total career shift and you are second guessing that because you're like, well, what makes me think I can just change my career later on in my life? Well, what makes you think that that's something wrong? I mean, where does this resistance come from? What is it rooted in? And I think that that's going to be really important for you to take a look at, like, where did this originate, and do you even agree with it? Because to be honest with you, like, I have seen several people who have, like, changed their career, like, literally in their mid 40s, and they're super successful. I mean, if they would have stayed doing the same old thing over and over and over again that they were so burnt out on, they were so sick and tired. I have a friend who was a teacher, and she was a teacher for like a while. Like, I would say almost 20 years. And she got to a point where she was just so burnt out. And I mean, to be real with you, is that, like, even good for her students? Probably not. She was just so burnt out. So she went to go finish her master's and other certifications that she got. And she runs her own therapy practice. And she's very successful in several states. And like, she's such an inspiration. And to be honest with you, I mean, she would not have what she had today if she would have held on to that resistance, and she wouldn't have aligned with her most authentic version of herself. And that's what this reading is about. Like, really revisiting this resistance. What is this rooted in? Why do you hang on to this? Why do you align with this resistance? And that kind of thing. Like, just really getting down to the nitty gritty of it. That's what this reading is for you. But anyway, I think I kind of side railed a little bit. So with the star card, I mean, this is your North Star. This is also hope, okay? Having faith. And I think that that's kind of what's happening for you in your environment. Also, she seems to be sprinkling some fairy magic. So for you, I'm thinking that the universe is just weaving things for you, and you've just got to trust the process because you are being guided in this direction. With the 9 of Pentacles, it can actually be you're being guided to more success, like more financial success. And to be honest with you, you may resist it because it's scary, but actually this is a better journey for you, because that Queen of Wands and that Chariot card, she is being guided by Spirit in this Chariot card, and she has the self-will to choose to do that or to not do it and to resist it. But I feel like in this specific deck, she is choosing to do it, and she has all of this power behind her, because look at that white tiger behind her. There's power behind her, right? And with the Queen of Wands, that's having that courage and that bravery, and to boldly chase these things, or to go after these things, to go after this new beginning in life that I feel like is going to bring more success for you. And I mean, you are absolutely 100% being guided, but I also feel like, just know that for the next couple of weeks, you're also kind of biding your time a little bit, because it's not exactly time to act. This is more what's going on within you. And that's why I'm saying, like, get your journal out and review the root of things and why you align with them, or why you feel like you have to do them, and ask yourself if you even agree. Like, if you even agree. And, if you have new opportunities unfolding for you, which I do see that you do, really look into the resistance. Why are you resisting this? What is it in you that resists this? Is it your age? Is it your socioeconomic status? Is it, a fear of disappointing your parents? Or your community? What is it that creates this resistance in you? This is what you are revisiting, okay? Because you have an opportunity to really start something new that is going to be more successful for you. But, for some of you guys, it could be like in relationships or communities. It doesn't just have to align with like love and career and that kind of thing, or career and education. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's so much more out there when it comes to new beginnings. You know what I mean? So, okay. Your advice is the Queen of Cups. For me, that's that song of your heart. That's really leaning into it. But the Three of Swords and the Four of Pentacles tells me, like, what do you hang on to your own pain? Do you cling to that? Do you build your life around that? And for me, or your own disappointments, do you build your life around that? And I think that the best way to put that is if something in the past didn't work out for you, and whatever it is, it could be relationships, it could be a job, it could be, you tried to go back to school, but you had to drop out. Do you like reside in the past? Do you dwell in the past and allow that to keep you from your pursuits in life and your dreams in life? And why? And why? Because I'll tell you that, a lot of the times, and I've noticed this in myself, clients, people in general, a lot of the times, people they cling to the past because they're so afraid of the future. Because it's actually safer and more comfortable, even though it's miserable, to hang on to the past, because then, that way you don't actually have to put yourself out there. You don't have to take any action. You don't actually have to see what's going to happen. And there's all this fear of failure and fear of success, intricately woven into clinging to the past, right? And so why are you afraid of being successful at something in your life? Why are you afraid of failing? And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the reading, is having the confidence to do it anyway. Even if you're going to fail, or even if you're not going to fail, whatever, just do it anyway. And just see what happens. Because I think that ultimately, people are so afraid of failure because they don't know what they're going to do if it doesn't work out. And I'm always well, you're going to do what you always do. You're going to pick yourself back up, and you're going to be the phoenix, and you're going to try again. You know what I mean? That's that. I think that, but it took me a long time in my life to be able to have that approach. And so I would hang on to relationships far past their expiration date because of the fact that I was so scared of, getting into another relationship and that not working out again. So I kept trying to make something work that wasn't going to work. And that's a very Taurus thing. I think that, we're really big on our investment, right? And on our time. And so we don't like to waste time. So if a Taurus, we've spent a lot of time on something and a lot of, we've put a lot of investment into something, we're going to keep trying to make something work, even if it doesn't work, even if it's never going to work, even if it just doesn't align with us. And even if we just don't even really want it anymore, we don't like to waste our time. Right. And so I would do that. And it really, at the end of the day, had to do with the fact that I didn't want to have my time wasted by anybody else. Okay. In the future. And I was afraid of something not working out. And at the core of that, why was I afraid of something not working out? Because I was afraid of the heartbreak. I was afraid of the pain. I was afraid of falling apart. But now I see things differently, because now I look back in hindsight at all the really horrible, tough stuff I've been through in my life. And now I don't look at the pain anymore. I'm not afraid of the pain. I'm not afraid of the tragedy, because now I look at me. I look at how I overcame it. And I'm well, so what if shit doesn't work out? I mean, so what? Because I'm going to persevere and I'm going to overcome it, because I'm resilient and I'm tenacious and I'm strong and I'm powerful, and I'm going to get through it like I always do, right? And I feel that's what Spirit wants you to know. You're going to get through whatever is going to happen in your life. So just do it anyway. Start making a plan. Give it a shot. For me, it's what do you really have to lose? Because at the end of the day, if you want to do something and you never do it, you never try, then for one, you never know, but then you lose out on that one thing that you really want to do. But if you try something and it doesn't work out, at least you tried. And and you don't have to sit back, and you don't have to live your life in regret. At least you tried. And that's what I see for you. Now, tell me more about the advice for Taurus. Because you have success here, Three of Swords. I said what I said, right? That's so funny. they're Like, to me, when it doubles up like that, to me, it's like the message that I already said about that card. That's what needed to be said. It's period. I mean, period. But anyway, because you have success here kind of tells me that, like, what this new beginning is for you, this new path for you is, like, it's going to be successful. So ultimately, you just got to lean into the song in your heart. Period. Like, give it a shot. You know, you don't know until you try. Tell me about the Four of Pentacles for Taurus. The Wheel of Fortune. See? Stop clinging. Because if the more that you hang on, like you resist, you hold tight to where you're at in your life, and you kind of keep yourself boxed in, the more you block yourself from the good fortune. You know, it's like, what is that saying? Like, everything you want is on the other side of fear or something like that. Or everything you could ever want is on the other side of fear. And that's what this is. Like, people hang on to things because they're afraid. And ultimately, energy flows where attention goes. So if you are putting all of your attention and all of your investment into staying safe and secure, you see my air quotes, safe and secure in one area, which i.e. is misery for you, you're doing so because you are afraid. And so ultimately overcoming that fear is where you're going to see the changes and the success, a change for the better in your life. And, you know, I think that Spirit wants you to really, really reflect during Mercury retrograde on this comfort zone and what this means for you. And why do you hang on to it? Why do you resist, you know, changes in your life? Why do you hang on to hiding certain parts of yourself? Or why don't you put yourself out there more? Why do you why do you stand in your own way, Taurus? Honestly, like, why? What is it? What do you get out of it? Because it's not bringing you happiness. In fact, if anything, it just brings you discomfort. But I think that mentally we tell ourselves that things are comfortable, but really, like, what I feel from you is discomfort. And I think that there is this sudden shift that happens. And to be really honest with you, it could have to do with things in your life that invoke this sudden shift. But there is a sudden shift that's going to bring you a lot of clarity about, like, am I getting busy living or am I getting busy dying? Because honestly, like, if you're just going to keep investing yourself in the things that just seem safe and secure, even though they bring you misery, you're getting busy dying. Period. End of story. So I think it's time to get busy living. And that's this revelation. That's why I feel like you're going from the Tower to the Star here. Like, you're gonna get busy living. Okay, the Celestial Weaver, the Phoenix, these cards are only in this deck, and the fact that they both came out is just literally so gorgeous. So I feel like Spirit is telling you, trust the guidance that you receive, trust the signs and the synchronicities that you are seeing this during Mercury retrograde. Okay, let me get you a closing oracle message, Taurus. I did not have my stuff together today, so I didn't have my clarifier cards. I didn't have my oracle messages. So, all right, closing oracle message for Taurus during Mercury retrograde, please. You have prayers, and that's the prayers being answered, especially because power was on the bottom of the deck. So for me, that's prayers being answered. Yep, because you're on your way up, 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 up. It's the only way to go is up. Manifest on the bottom of the deck. See? Change for the better, rising above, and recognition. See, that's the thing, is that, and the return of Spirit. So for me, and do you see Taurus? There's a phoenix. That is freaking so gorgeous. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I think that you're going to be recognized by individuals. I think that people are really going to start seeing the truest version of you. I think that because little bit by little bit, you're going to start dropping the mask. You're going to start letting people see your talents and your gifts and your skills. You're going to start letting people see, the parts of you that you hide. And I think that I went through that for a period of time in my life where, like, I can be incredibly goofy. I really can. And I didn't let anybody see that. I really didn't. I think that there was like a sum total of maybe 2 or 3 people in my entire life that ever got to see that version of me. And now everybody does. Everybody gets to see that because I don't care. Because it's like, you may not like it. And I've had a few commenters who said before that I'm too goofy. And I'm like, to be real honest with you, like, that just kind of tells me that you got to stick up your butt and you don't know how to have fun. But I mean, no offense. I mean, really, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but like, I think that life is just way too short to not be serious and to be serious and not be happy. You know what I mean? I would rather be silly and laugh and play and have laugh lines than have frown lines. Like, okay, but that's just me. And so anyway, like I said, I feel like you're shedding that harder exterior, that more serious exterior for some of you, or you're just shedding the mask like little bit by little bit so that you can allow yourself to be truly recognized. I do get the sense that as we wrap up Mercury retrograde, you're going to start, elevating in your life with that up card. You're going to be, going up to the next level in your life. For some of you, like, say, for instance, you want to apply for a supervisor job. Okay. So going to the next level or being your own boss even. But you're going to be receiving some sort of recognition, accolade. It could be a certification. It could be a degree. It could be like whatever, it can be an award that you're receiving or just people really seeing like your magic. Okay. You being successful in an avenue of your life that you are striving for at this time. But like I said, there's a lot of revisiting that you're going to be experiencing during Mercury retrograde where you're going to have to, you're being guided. You don't have to do it. You're being guided to look within at the resistance that you hold inside of you. So that's what I have for you, my lovely Taurians, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.